I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
E fala galera, beleza? Matheus aqui para mais um vídeo e hoje estou aqui novamente com Alan Wake. E como vocês podem ver, eu instalei a tradução para português. O que eu vou ligar? A torneira?
Coffee's on.
Ah, não.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
É isso aí. Vamos ver como que é o jogo. Eu falei que não ia, talvez não ia continuar, mas eu vou sim tentar zerar. Nossa, tá frio lá fora, hein? Caramba. Vamos ver aqui o que tem pra gente. Nada. Ó, uma mega televisão. Minha casa fica trancada, que legal. Ela tá ali. Eu vou aqui primeiro. Banheirão. Tomar um banho. Vamos lá, toma banho. Não quer tomar banho? Tem um rádio aqui, ó.
Freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather. We're now on the third day of the blizzard, and the weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
Beleza. Tá nevando. Quanta coisa, né, Alan? Tá, vamos lá. Pra Alice. Calma aí, tem mais uma sala aqui. Ó. 4 livros. 5 livros, todo. Matemática tá boa, hein? E essas armas aqui, muito louca. Aí já peguei um papel já, hein? Nossa, quanto papel. Isso é bem mais do que o primeiro episódio.
And the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of...
Tá, quem quiser ler, lê aí, galera, porque eu não vou ler, não.
This was a late goodbye.
Preguiça.
13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered.
Beleza, vambora. Vá até
Hey, I just finished
Alice.
those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Top. Pegar um cafezão aqui. Ó. A pose de mal do Alan. O que tem aqui? Por que essa porta está trancada, Alice? Examine as maquetes de capa. Capa? No PC mesmo? Onde? Aqui?
These look
aqui.
really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan? Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
I'm right here, baby.
I'm fine, I'm fine. Just get the lights back on. Now, please.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay, hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's
Bora,
stupid,
então.
but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Que legal, hein, Alan? Que legal. O presente, Briggs Fall.
Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Beleza. Ó, 2 Xbox. É nada. É só
I'm sorry you
papelada.
had to cut your
Tem
morning
peixe
fishing
aqui.
short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you.
Quero não.
You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
Vou seguir seu conselho, senhor. E vamos lá, né? Aqui a gente voltou. Saiu lá do apartamento e voltamos de onde a gente tinha parado. Que batemos a cabeça no acidente de carro. Meu Deus, aquela velha de novo. Eu vou pra cá. Oh. Você viu este homem desaparecido desde 20/6/2007. Características: usa truques para ganhar os concursos. Desaparecidos, não vou falar o nome deles. Muito difícil. Richard Balg, Bruce Densky, Jacob Miller saíram para acampar há dias. Não entraram em contato. Se você os viu ou sabe onde estão, ligue para 555-9932. Obrigado. Liga aí, galera. Não, mentira, liga não. Vou desligar a energia. O que será que tem nesse quarto aqui?
Mr. Wake.
Aha!
Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now. Your phone, Mr.
Opa,
Wake?
fechei. Tá bom, calma, eu tô explorando.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need some fresh air.
Voltei.
Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay. You can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Vamos lá tomar o ar, então. Ali... que é isso aqui?
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Nossa, eu não falei com a véia que tava ali, meu.
You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our
O que
regulars.
tem aqui?
I thought he'd quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up.
Tem nada. Eu perdi de falar com a véia aqui.
Hey! Hey! I need more light in here.
Mulligan here. I'm at Stuckey's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him.
Like the goddamn shadows in
this
here.
is Thornton. Look,
Hey!
we've located the brake load. It's here.
Damn it!
That's some
I
good
don't
news,
wanna
right?
be alone
Stuckey
in
was
here.
supposed to be driving it at the rehearsal
Hey!
today. Over. Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over. Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stuckey. Jane's out.
Too damn dark.
Caramba, o cara lá não para de gritar, mano. Cafezinho.
Give me some light.
Vambora.
Hey, mister!
Para de gritar, ó.
Can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here.
Só isso?
Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Peguei uma
In spite of the
nota.
Turing mask, to describe
A
the dark
presença
presence as
escura.
intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner.
Quem quiser ler, leia aí.
The early
Vamos lá.
morning light hurt my eyes
Aqui é
and
por
made my head
trás.
ache.
Ali
The
tá o
man
carro
on the phone had
abandonado,
said,
eu
"Go through the
acho.
fence on the left."
Ó. Ford Fusion. Que chique, né? Tem até os botãozinhos na porta ali, ó. As igualzinho.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for
Botou um
me
rádio
in
ali,
an abandoned
café.
car.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting that the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
Ô, musiquinha. Copyright. Ah, direitos autorais. Tá, eu já vi que é o carro ali. Passe pelo buraco da cerca. Que buraco? Eu não consigo chegar ali. Ah, agora eu consegui. Ah, dava pra pular, né? Caramba, hein, Alice, tem um chute poderoso. Mais uma página.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak.
Beleza.
Alice's driver's
que tem
license
aqui?
had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Oh, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Não dá pra subir. Então vamos embora. Ô, Alice, não consegue pular a cerca?
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
É.
Sarah, I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might
Esse é o cara que vem me buscar?
inadvertently
Rápido.
caused on their recent and
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
Se for ele.
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh, my! Take it easy.
Nossa senhora.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
Caraca,
What
mano.
the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Caralho, deu um supapão na cara do cara,
I
mano.
had to
Tá
talk to
louco,
someone.
Alan.
I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow, I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an errand.
Sei lá.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Beleza. $14.000 anos. Caramba. Muito tempo. Muito tempo.
Seriously,
Não tem
Al,
nada pra
what you were
explorar.
saying in the car,
Tem uma página
just
aqui, não,
listen
não
to
é.
yourself.
Calma aí, Rust. Tô indo, tô indo.
You shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? Are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do
and
you
everything's
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
All right, wait here.
É isso aí. Ali o café. É meu agora. O que tem aqui na cozinha? Nada. Ó o ursão. Vambora. Falar com o velho aqui fora.
Easy there, boy.
Ele tá passando a mão no cachorro.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Tadinho. Vamos lá pegar o formulário.
You can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Tô brincando não, João. Formulário reconhecido. Leve o formulário para Rush. Não é tu não, né?
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that.
Beleza, vambora.
You're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay. Okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
Aí, ou você me ajuda, ou tu vai embora.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. But you're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Achoo!
Vai morrer de rinite.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
Relaxa, relaxa que vai dar certo. Porque eu percebi que eu peguei tanta coisa no episódio passado e não veio nada pra agora. Eu tô com 7 só. Tô com 7 baterias pra lanterna. Tá, deixa eu ver o que tem aqui. Provável que tem alguma coisa. Deixar apagado. Ó, uma bateria. Um café. Uma porta trancada. Por onde tem que ir? Por aqui? Não. Pelo outro lado. Beleza. Tem nada aqui. Tem um corvo ali. Toma, corvo, na cara. Preciso achar um revólver. Dá pra ir por aqui, ó. Por que não tava aberto? Bom, outro café. Podia ficar aberta essa porta aqui, não precisava ficar dando volta assim. Gosta de dar trabalho pra gente, né, jogo? Cadê a nota? Não tem nota aqui? Nossa, que poço fundo. Bem fundo. Beleza. Ah, ganhei um revólver. Beleza. Tem uma nota ali.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for.
Beleza. O que tem aqui? Munição? Tem nada. Eu só tenho 12 munições.
This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Já tentei trazer esse jogo há muito tempo, eu que fiquei enrolando, né? Porque dá medo de jogar, né? Eu nem vi o que saiu daqui, mas suave. Suave, suave. Ó, tem um rádio ali. Acender a luz aqui, né? Vai saber.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh, yeah.
No plan, really, just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah, it's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a heck of a largemouth bass early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year. See, Pat, I'm just not that competitive anymore. Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the peace of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
Vocês viram, galera? Tinha um cara ali. Apaga a luz, apaga a luz. Não, deixa acesa, né? A luz ajuda. Tinha um monstro aqui. Vacilão. Eu não tô conseguindo desviar. Então quer dizer que não vai aparecer ninguém ainda. Talvez. Beleza, vamos continuar. Ai. Terremoto. Caramba, viu? O que será que foi isso? Só um buraquinho só. De boas. Olha só tudo quebrado. Cadê? Assusta eu, vai. Opa, bati aqui sem querer. Tava esperando já, essa eu tava esperando. Tem luz? Não tem luz, fodeu.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs.
Ficar aqui assim que eu consigo ver a porta e a TV ao mesmo tempo.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy, normal, took your kid to a soccer game, so how come at the game you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. But the white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
Acabou, eu acho. E dá pra desviar assim, ó. Aí, ó. Lascou. Ai, ai, vamos lá, vamos lá, vamos lá. Vai, Alan. Você consegue. Você é forte. Tem um carro ali. Tem um telefone aqui. Tem uma página.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack.
Beleza. Vou subir lá. Eu acho que pra baixo aqui é o caminho. Talvez. Ou será que é aqui? Não alimente os animais. R$100 de multa.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her.
Entendi, ela entendi. Ela estava apaixonada. Ai, meu Deus. Jogo de terror deixa a gente todo tenso, né? Nossa senhora. Mas vamos embora. Eu nem sei o que tem que fazer nesse daqui. Desse capítulo. Mas tem umas luzes aqui pra deixar a gente mais feliz um pouco.
The vision left me weak.
Ah,
This was no head injury. Rusty, damn.
Rusty, hang on!
Merda.
I'm coming! Please, help me!
Merda, Rush.
Anybody? Help me!
Cadê tu?
Help! Help me! Can you hear me? Anyone?
Tô indo.
Please help!
Calma.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here. Hey, please help me. Mr. Wake?
Quem que bateu em você?
Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Aguenta firme, volto já.
Couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page
Opa,
from the
mais um.
manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Caralho, quebrou sua perna, né, mano? Vou soltar o cachorro. Certeza que eu saindo lá fora vai aparecer os bichos. Tem um kit de primeiros socorros aqui, não quer não? Acenda as luzes. Tá, não tem que fazer nada aqui. Tem que sair lá fora.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
Onde que eu acendo as luzes? É aqui? Mas caiu o poste, a árvore aqui, o... Caramba. Vambora, vambora.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I...
Beleza, vou entrar aqui primeiro. Ih, mas tá aberta a porta ali.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back
Eu
on.
não posso pegar o machado. Mas de novo. Só queria ver o que tinha ali, calma.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Tem uma página que eu nem vi.
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag.
Ah, eu não vou precisar entrar lá, né? Cheio de nego lá dentro. Vem então, vem. Pode vir, pode vir. Ai! Por essa eu não contava, hein? E acabou minha bateria. Eu não esperava por essa, não. Não tem mais, não. O Rush já foi, já. Já era. O bicho levou até o cachorrinho.
Please don't feed the animals.
Vem então, vem.
Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park fishing license. Obey the park ranger's instructions at all times. Rusty, no! Never approach closer than 100 yards. Two bears and wolves never approach any other wildlife closer than 25 yards. Pets must be leashed at all times. Never leave your pet unattended. It is against the law to store historical artifacts from the park grounds.
Morre, filho. Não vou deixar você bater em mim, não. Oh, meu Deus. Ai, desei pro lado errado. Ai. Vem, então, vem. Tem munição ali. Eu acho que acabou. Vou pegar toda a munição que eu consegui aqui. Vambora, vambora. Eu acho o caminho aqui. Cadê, cadê, cadê? Tem nada, tem nada. Vambora. Ficar de olho no chão pra ver se não tem aquelas gosmas que me deram dano. Uhul. Aí uma luz. Ah. Uma luz.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Certeza que ele vai abrir a porta pra alguém. Certeza. Foco, vamos lá, foco. Ai, deixa eu ver aqui. Últimas palavras.
He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Agora nunca mais irá pedir. Exatamente. Vamos lá. Tem uma cachoeirona ali, muito louca. Talvez essa seja a última luz do caminho. Vamos lá. Isso aqui. Pilha e munição, que eu já tenho um monte que eu peguei lá em cima. Ó. Será que ele desce legal a escada? Tem um caminho aqui, ó. Olha só eu saindo do mapa. Mas não vou, né? Senão vou cair na água e morrer afogado. Talvez. Vamos lá, vamos lá, vamos lá.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Tem uma seta indicando pra mim ir pra cá. Ah tá, eu vou entrar numa caverna pra pegar item. Por que eu acho que isso não vai dar certo? Tem que ser um lança-chamas. Tem um cara bugado lá em cima lá. Legal, ele me deu uma shotgun. Então quer dizer que vai vir bichos fortes. Inimigos bem fortes. Vamos lá. Tentar terminar esse capítulo aqui. E galera, eu postei outro vídeo. E por conta daquela música que teve no final, ele foi desmonetizado. E eu nem ganhei monetização, é bem legal isso. Ah, claro. Por que não, né? Ai, fudeu. São só dois só. Ai, tem mais um. Ai, que susto, caralho. Vem, 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 vem. Ai, cara. Nossa, essa foi boa. Que desviada, mano. Que esquiva. Mais uma bateria. Ai. Tô bem, vamos lá. Não vi que tinha 3, meu. Tomei dano à toa, mas ainda bem que a vida buguei. Regenera. Deixa eu ver o que tem aqui em cima. Certeza que nada. Eu saio da pista, assim, da estrada. Pra ver se tem as coisas, explorar, né? E agora? Direita, né? Uma morte mais tranquila. Certeza, tem uma página aqui. Ó.
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart, too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was.
Beleza. Não vou ler tudo, não. Tenho preguiça, já falei várias vezes. Eu acho que aqui é só isso. Eu vou cortar atalho. Vou nada. Vou pela estrada.